think of two kinds of people you probably already know. The first kind says things like, I need some space to process this. I am so overwhelmed. You're gaslighting me. Please respect my boundaries. They've read the books, they follow all the podcasts, and they're actively trying to break every single pattern and understand what's happening inside of them. The second kind hears all of that and goes, You're always so sensitive. Why do we have to talk about everything? Or worse, nothing. They leave the text you've been drafting for days unread. Now imagine these two people trying to be in a relationship or raising a child together. That distance between them is what I call the emotional intelligence gap. And that gap, that emotional incompatibility, is going to define the legacy we leave for our future generations. Today in dating, trends show some refusing to settle for emotionally unavailable partners, while others grapple with a loneliness epidemic without the tools to do anything about it. We see a generation delaying or avoiding long-term relationships because being that close to someone feels more like a threat than a comfort. Even marriage today isn't a financial arrangement with no escape. It has finally become the choice, the emotional partnership it was always meant to be. But we're seeing some countries report the highest divorce rates, paired with a self-inflicted population decline, the lowest birth rates around the world. Not because our bodies can't have children or we're constantly surviving famine or the plague, but because, besides the cost of living, our nervous systems don't feel safe building an emotionally secure life and future with another person. But let's zoom out, because this isn't about dating drama. It's about the cracks deepening in the emotional foundations of our homes. Another piece of this puzzle is what the world told us was acceptable in the vacuum left by the lack of formal mental health education. Growing up, I got my blueprint for love and connection, pretty much like yours, I'm sure, from the movies. 90s Bollywood gave everyone named Shivani a theme song. Throughout my childhood, I couldn't walk into a room without someone yelling, "Hey, Shivani!" Because in one of our most popular films, the hero sings to express his developing romantic affection for this wonderful woman named Shivani, and I'll translate the beautiful words. Hey, Shivani, you look like a granny. When you appear, even ghosts run in fear. And my personal favorite, you are so exhausting that even if you ran alone, you'd lose that race. Romantic, right? And when I moved to North America, that script didn't change. Treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen. If they are teasing you, they like you. Communication was vulnerable, and it had one rule: you do not text twice. Our cultural baseline for connection taught us to hide how we feel if we did not want to become the next hypersensitive butt of the joke. And so, right from 9 years old, I learned to bury my emotions in straight A's and awards. But as I became a trauma therapist and educator, who works with individuals, couples, families across cultures and continents, I saw the patterns. As I organized international mental health campaigns and trained other professionals who are in the emotional trenches of humanity with me every single day, I realized emotional intelligence is not an innate magical ability only the chosen few were born with. It is a skill set you and I can learn at any age with which we can start to bridge the emotional gap of doom between the over-therapizers and the I don't believe in this therapy woo-woo people. And by now, my team and I have heard people argue in over 9 different languages. And trust me, you sound just like your mother hurts in all of them. But what we have also seen is that it's not one big dramatic betrayal that ends relationships. It is everyday, simple moments of rupture and mismatch that drift the two people away from each other and their own selves until one day that gap is too big. And what we have done successfully over and over again is walk the two people back to each other by developing their emotional intelligence through these 4 skills: self-awareness, self-regulation, social awareness, and responsible repair. I know these sound clinical, so let me make it doable. Self-awareness means name the feeling. Yes, all your feelings, not just the ones you were allowed to have growing up, or the ones that look pretty on a famous quote. Self-regulation means take the pause. Breathe through the discomfort of a tough feeling passing through long enough so you can understand it, without numbing, controlling, running away. Social awareness means see their side. Challenge the limits set for you by your own discomfort and listen to empathize, not to win. So you can respond consciously and not react automatically from the wounded parts in you. And finally, responsible repair. Fix the break. Signal safety to another nervous system by communicating. Let's try again. You matter to me and I want to figure this out. Because disconnection doesn't happen because you mess up. It happens when you don't repair and go back to safety. That's it. Emotional intelligence is not a mystery. It is the courage to be vulnerable, the discipline to pause, the vocabulary to share your inner world accurately with those that you love so you can actually feel seen, and the safety and confidence to do this again and again. So, now that I know all this, how quickly am I going to find my emotionally intelligent partner? That depends on how willing you are to ask yourself one honest question. Am I emotionally intelligent enough to receive the kind of love I say I want in my relationships? Because we all have our Shivanis. A label, a joke, a family script that sticks. And the quiet, brave work of emotional intelligence is unlearning the version of you inherited, but is now standing in the way. Knowing it's time to change your song. And while you sit with all of that, let me remind you, your legacy is not a bank account or a last name you leave for your future generations for after you are gone. It is the nervous system you help them build so they can enjoy life with you while you are still around. So, the next time you allow yourself to cry in front of your friends, or type a goodbye message instead of ghosting and pretending you left the country, or when you ask for space when you're angry instead of punching a wall, you prove that healthy relationships are not a luxury reserved for therapy kids. And the next time you put aside your pride, look your own personal stigma in the eye, and do the emotional work you were never taught, you show we are all capable of building a life where we can travel far and wide, but also travel across the dinner table to say, I'm sorry. Because when you do that, you don't just build safety for your relationships. You learn to come home to yourself. Thank you.